What's up, guys? It's your boy Benny. I woke up this morning to some shocking news flooding my social media feed of an insurrection inside of Washington, D.C. An insurrection, of course, a violent overthrow of the federal government and of government institutions. And so that's essentially the only thing that you can divine from images of a man scaling the White House fence, defying the Secret Service and hoisting a hostile foreign national's flag above our White House. There is no other definition for this. Democrat activists scaled the White House fence carrying a hostile nation's flag as liberal orcs crash the fence. They're defying Secret Service. They're vandalizing federal property. They're rioting. Will a single one be arrested as an insurrection? By definition, what was actually happening here? This is the massive rally. This is the massive rally in Washington, D.C., 300,000 people strong yesterday, rallying for Palestine, right? Rallying for the fusion, effectively, of BLM and the Palestine movement, the Free Palestine movement, is what's happened. And so all of the people who had gotten itchy, protesting, marching boots, and their little flags and their little markers that they use to paint their signs on cardboard, all those people were getting itchy feet and they needed to find the next new thing. Well, this is the next new thing. Palestine, marching against Palestine. Now, these protesters marched through Washington, D.C. You're allowed to do that. You can peacefully protest anywhere you want. The thing you can't do is to climb up on the White House fence in defiance of Secret Service and plant a hostile nation's flag atop the fence. There you can see it there. And doing that, I cannot express to you how illegal this is. This is being. Anyone in Washington, D.C. will tell you it's shocking. This person was not shocked. Okay, I'm not advocating for that. I'm simply saying that that's what the Secret Service maintains the right to do to people who scale the White House fence. Now, they were also chanting, "That's Joe Biden." So, I mean, the birth clock is right twice a day. You know, maybe there is common ground to be had with these people. Pro-Palestinian protesters chant F Joe Biden outside the White House. I'm getting complete and total flashbacks to the BLM-surrection in May of 2020 when they stormed the White House, desecrated statues all over Washington, D.C. This was commonplace yesterday, where they would get up on statues all around D.C. statues around D.C. are of American war heroes, of American presidents, of America's past military leaders, and they desecrated these statues by covering them in Palestinian flags, covering them in headscarves. Ben Franklin was covered in a Palestinian scarf, whatever that's called. This is, by every definition, an insurrection. They desecrated federal property. They desecrated federal statues. They even vandalized the white. You see the red paint on the doors of the White. This is the gate outside of the White House. This monstrous gate outside of the White House. You see the red paint there on the side. So they vandalized federal property. Will anyone be arrested for that? By definition, this is an insurrection. This is another nation, a hostile nation's foreign flag being flung above our White House and our monuments. In case you're wondering what this movement is about, there you go. Conversion, by the sword or otherwise. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what's happening in America. Does anyone care? Well, of course, our friends over at the Post Millennial wrote this up. Anti-Israel protests surrounded White House, scale security fence chants intifada, which is, of course, terrorist sloganeering for let's wipe out the nation of Israel, right? So thanks so much, Post Millennial, for popping my tweet in there. So they go ahead and cover this. The Post Millennial covers this. Yet there's a literal effing insurrection at the White House yesterday, led by left-wing orcs, holding the flag of a hostile nation, a flag that represents a terrorist group, right? I'm not saying that all Palestinians are members of Hamas, but the Palestinians in Gaza voted for Hamas, which is a terrorist organization, and yet nothing on CNN. Nothing. Look at this. Nothing. Oh, here's a story about the housing market. Okay, here's a story about Donald Trump, of course, Trump's court cases. Nothing. Nothing. What? Okay, what's this? Oh, okay. Tech execs from a Taiwanese family. This is what makes the front page of CNN. And Blinken meets with Abbas about violence in the West Bank. What about violence in Washington, D.C.? And nothing? Bueller? Anything? This is how it works. This is how it works. Complete and total. And I checked 20 other corporate media sites. Nothing on this. Nothing. Left-wing orcs surrounded the White House and scaled the White House fence and had to be dispatched by Secret Service. Dispatched by Secret Service after surrounding the White House and defying the police, desecrating the White House, vandalizing the building, and vandalizing thousands of other monuments and protected places in Washington, D.C., whilst hoisting a flag that in part represents a terrorist organization, and you got nothing on CNN. Some of our friends, here's what they have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, defaced and vandalized multiple statues around the White House. J6 insurrection versus Hamasurrection. Yep. Okay. Okay, everybody. Everybody stay in the velvet ropes. You didn't see anyone desecrating any statues on January 6th, did ya? You didn't see any foreign flags on January 6th, did ya? A lot of American flags. Nope. But this is what's happening to our statues. This is what's happening to our statues, war heroes. They are spray painting. They are desecrating. This is the White House fence. This is the White House fence right here. They're wiping bloody hands all over it. It's paint, right? It's plain. This is the statue right astride the White House. Look at that. They're putting Palestinian flags into the arms of American war heroes. Here's Ben Franklin getting covered here in a Palestinian whatever hijab, scarf. I don't know what they're called. Yep. Insane. We got Kamala Harris blathering about Islamophobia. Meanwhile, pro-Palestinian protesters are scaling the security fences at the White House. Absolute insanity. The White House is under siege. We must never forget the 11/4 insurrection. Secret Service agents. Now, this was a good one from Dan Bongino. I'm sorry, from Dan Scavino. That rhymes. The Secret Service agents protecting the White House are the best in the world. They will protect the House at any cost. This is not smart. The conflict in the Middle East has driven left-wingers to form a mob outside of the White House and chant F Joe Biden. Yeah, some people are saying, we'll take it. So Palestinian protesters, these are Palestinian protesters literally at the White House, like busting down the fence, breaking down the fence. You can see the fence here. The fence is, they're shoving things on the other side of the fence, and they're pushing the fence. They're climbing the fence. I cannot express to you exactly how dangerous, they're taking their lives in their own hands, like how dangerous this is. This is Congressman Wesley Hunt. If you don't recognize your country anymore, it's not just you. This is the White House right now. Is this an insurrection? Asked Richard Grenell, who of course worked for Donald Trump. A pro-Hamas insurrection. Where's the DOJ? Where's the DHS? How many foreign nationals are there? Asked Stephen Miller, who also worked for Donald Trump. If they were wearing MAGA hats, snipers would have already engaged. I don't ever want to hear about January 6th again from the left. This is just like the summer of love, says Wesley Hunt. Of course, yes. Dan Bongino, I told you we'd have a Dan Bongino. Dan Scavino and Dan Bongino. Enemies are already here. The enemy is already here, says Bongino. What are the protesters chanting? Who are they chanting at? Because Joe Biden's at the beach, right? Joe Biden was at the beach yesterday. Just FYI. This is where Joe Biden was. Now, Julie Kelly, who's my favorite January 6th reporter, says, no one shot and killed like on January 6th. Nobody assaulted with flashbangs, rubber bullets, tear gas, or beaten with batons. Nobody will be charged with federal crime for terrorism or for shaking government fence, per Judge Kelly. They actually put J6ers in jail for shaking a fence. That was one of the charges. One of the people shook the fence. Well, there's plenty of fence shaking in this footage. Look at this. Is this fucking coward shaking right here?
Genocide! Shame on you!
I don't want to hear another word about January 6th. Joe Biden won't call them terrorists. FBI won't conduct pre-dawn raids to arrest them. Attorney Matthew Graves won't charge them with seditious conspiracy. Democrats won't denounce them for attempting to take over a government building and threaten democracy. None of the officers will give tearful interviews to the Washington Post and claim they almost died. White House will not give them special medals. Sedition hunters won't look for them. Double standards keep piling up. And if we didn't have double standards, we'd have no standards at all. And so, ladies and gentlemen, ask yourself this. Is this the country that you voted for? Is this the country that your forefathers fought and died for? Is this the country that you want to raise a family in? A country that can be overtaken by, again, a group of lunatic orcs. I'm not saying everyone who marched was that, but enough people were in this group to storm the White House, to scale the White House fences, and to hoist a foreign flag over our White House. And even if I agree with them with this chant, doesn't make it right. Sorry, on the side of people who hoist American flags, even if we disagree with each other, like we're all under the same flag. That is a prerequisite to what you need to have a functional country. These people can't even meet me there. These people who hoist hostile foreign flags over our nation, and at that, I agree with Bongino. The enemy is already at the gate, inside the gate, technically. Try doing this in a MAGA hat. Actually, don't. Please, God, don't. Don't try doing this in a MAGA hat. It's your boy Benny. Hamasurrection continues. We'll keep covering it. Apparently no one else will. Like, share, and subscribe.